Okay, today we're going to go through short stories, Module 7, Twists. I think this is quite a nice element to include if you're able to do this. A twist to a story is basically a very surprising ending. So it's a sudden, unexpected ending. And again, as I said, if you're able to do this really impresses the marker because we expect something creative when you approach to write a story. All right, and so you have to try your very best to create a plot that can deceive the reader as they read along, and they think that the story should go that way, but then at the end it's not like that. It's totally different. This is really powerful if you can do it. Okay, so the key point is that it can make a short story exceptionally powerful by bringing surface some information that the reader did not know. Okay, so that's why it is unexpected, because it's like that. So at the end, somehow we are amazed by your ending. This is what we expect you to write if you want to create a twist at the end. Okay, and an example is like this. For example, you worked for 10 years to repay the debt of a lost necklace. Okay, so 10 hard years you keep working, you want to pay for this necklace, but then after 10 years of hard work, only to find that the necklace was fake. So somehow all your effort is in vain, and then you question yourself, why did you work so hard for 10 years just to get a fake necklace, just to pay for the fake necklace? Alright, so the common genres that we use plot twists are ghost story, horror story, crime, and sci-fi. Okay, so usually these are the text types that we may try to create plot twists, because this is what makes it interesting. Now when we read ghost story, horror story, crime, and sci-fi story, we mostly want to be entertained, and that's why plot twist is very common. Okay, alright, so some more examples right here. For example, a man living in an old house, two children, two children, complain of ghosts living in the same house. Alright, there are ghosts. But finally, the man kind of found out that the ghosts are actually themselves from the future. And actually the ghosts are himself and his children. Alright, so this is quite powerful. So you can imagine the story goes like this. The man moved into an old house with his two children, and then they kept living there, and then they found that there's something strange about it, and then they thought there were ghosts, and then they confirmed that there were ghosts, so they were really nervous, and they were terrified of what is happening, and then finally they found out that it's actually themselves from the future. Okay, and then the other one is about spaceship with aliens. Okay, they're going to land on Earth. Alright, and so scientists have been contacting the spacecraft, and then they welcome the aliens. Alright, so it's fun that they are not afraid of the aliens. Okay, humans are not afraid of the aliens, they even welcome them. And then everything has been checked, and so the spaceships lands safely. Okay, and even the instrument said that they have landed already. But the problem is the scientists cannot see it. So, it says the spaceship has already landed, but it is nowhere to be found. So, where is the spaceship? And so one of the heads of states, kind of like a super important person, steps backwards to look for the spaceship, only to find that it crushes the alien with his foot. So it's like the human, and the spaceship is just right here. So who said that the spaceship must be super big, right? It can be as small as an ant or something. So it's like, I don't know, mouse, a cockroach, something like that. So basically, this is the spaceship, and so the person crushes the spaceship. Okay, so it's a stupid ending, but it's fun. Okay, it's also a kind of twist as well. Alright, so hopefully you get the idea of what a twist is like. Basically, it's a surprising ending. Okay, that can anything surprise the readers. Okay, so for this part, I don't think I'll go through it because you can just simply match the two parts, the story part, as the story plot, and the twist. So just think about how to match them together. I'll also upload the answer key so you can check it out time. Alright, and that's a part that I want to talk about. This is a very long story this time. Yeah, relatively long, I should say, is around 5 pages. And I just want to show you how it creates that sense of twist at the end. Okay, how a twist is created. So this cert. So first, you have to understand what's cert. Cert is basically British English, informal British English, to show that something is certain. Okay, so an example is like this. This is a dead cert. Sorry, this is a dead cert to win. So it means that it is certain. It's certain that this horse will win, for example. Okay, so that's why when you call a horse a dead cert, it means that the horse will win the race for sure. Okay, alright. So and this is about Tiger, the key character, the main character. Is a jockey, so the person who rides the horse. Alright, and he's basically the champion jockey, he's a very successful one. Alright, but then now he is a lot older than before, so he wants to hang up his jockey uniform, basically to retire with a comfortable future. So can you retire and have a comfortable future? Of course, you have to get a lot of money. That's why he had to make one last great bet. Okay, so basically the bet you should understand is to bet on his own race, and this bet is somehow illegal as well. Okay, because you should understand that the jockey is not allowed to bet on his own race. Alright, but he wants to make money. That's what he is trying to do. Alright, and so basically he is very talented as a jockey because he has a strength, muscle, okay, and tough body, things like that. Alright, so he has a wonderful sense of balance, excelled at gymnastics, so that's why he is basically a very, very talented jockey. Alright, and then but there's something about his family. He should because he is actually champion, so that's why he should have got a lot of money, right? But then there are two incidents that kind of made him lose a lot of money. First is about his mother. Okay, first his mother suffered a massive heart attack, so it takes a lot of money for her to stay alive and to be kept taken care of. Alright, so it's the medical cost. And then the other one is about her relationships with a lot of different women. Because without the care and affection of his mother, felt lonely and lost. Okay, so that's why he has to try to get a sense of love from the others. Okay, so require much imagination. Women sometimes kept in company. Okay, so you can see that he has a lot of different women around him, but mostly for money. That's why he lost a lot of money. Alright, and so you understand why he lost a lot of money, even though he was so successful as a jockey. Okay, and then you have to understand that he's going to retire. A jockey can't work till like 60 years old. It's a physical activity, so it's impossible. All right, and so he has to think about how to make a great sum of money in his last race. All right, okay. And so afterwards, we can take a look right here, and then he got to know a guy named Boots. Boots is actually another very successful jockey, but Boots is actually the one who taught him how to bet illegally. Boots basically said this: if you want to make some money, put something on my horse, it can't lose. But we're not supposed to bet on the races, we're riding in. Okay, and so Boots laughed and said, "You've got a lot to learn, kid." So basically, Boots is telling him that you can't really make a lot of money by being a jockey. You have to learn how to bet on some races, even your own races, in order to earn money. Okay, and that's why they kind of developed a relationship between each other, and then they start to share information and to earn money together. All right. Okay, and so next part I want to talk about is right here. So it goes back to the part when Tiger starts to prepare his coup. So the coup means to prepare his own race. How to make the most money through his race. All right. So they are trying. No, the Tiger is trying to make sure that everything is okay, to make sure that people doesn't know that the horse he's going to ride is actually a very talented horse. Okay, so that's is the horse that he's going to ride, and then even his owner. So obviously, Tiger is not the owner of that cert. Okay, that cert has another owner, but his owner basically thinks that this is a natural sprinter. Okay, and this is a misconception. So people misunderstood the potential of that cert. Okay, but Tiger somehow knows that cert is not a sprinter, but he can win with another style. All right, and so Tiger tries to create false information, false image about this horse. Okay, and people think that this horse isn't worth a bet. In order to make the bet more powerful, because there's kind of ratio like 80 to 1, something like that. Okay, if it's 2 to 1 or something like that, then it is very likely to win. And even if you buy it and win, you bet on it and win, and it wins, and you can't win a lot of money. Okay, only if you buy a horse that is highly unlikely to win, then you can earn a lot of money. Alright, so basically Tiger successfully created that image. So you see, even the racing reporter, Desert was nothing more than a temperamental sprinter. Alright, so it feels like, oh, this horse doesn't have a lot of potential, it can't win. Alright, and so Tiger got everything ready. Okay, and then he even did not tell Boots about this horse until the morning of the race. Okay, so you see, he was being very careful about this. And finally, it comes to the end, on the day of the race. Oh, it feels like, he felt certain of killing. It feels like he must win the race. And so everything was smooth, but then one of the horses in front tripped and fell. And that cert ran against the fallen horse and fell as well. So basically, it sent Tiger right over his neck, and he knew in a flash that his problems would soon be over. Why? Because just imagine the horse is going to fall, the jockey will just be thrown away amidst the air and going to land but then the position will be awkward. If you land with your head, you will certainly die, right? And this is what happened. Landed on the side of his head, but Tiger only get an absurd desire to laugh. So you see, basically he knows he's going to die, but he only laughed about it, and he thought it's a release because his problems are going to be over. Alright, and then at last he felt at peace. Okay, so he realized that it's not that kind of fortune that he expected, but it was a winner for him too, because he could finally get away from all sorts of pain. Okay, so you see that's a twist at the end. Why? Because you thought it's about money, it's about making huge money. Okay, but it's not about making huge money, it's actually about the death of Tiger. Alright, so I just want to talk about one last question. The term irony. Irony, you should understand, is kind of conflict, okay, about how a term is used. So especially it has different meaning from the literal one. So that is basically the meaning of certainty to win, but who's actually dead by the end of the story? It's obvious, it's actually Tiger. So it's called dead cert, right? So it feels like it's certain to win the horse, but it's not. Why is it an irony? Because it's not about the horse. It's not about winning. It's about Tiger, and it's about his death. Right? So he is actually dead at the end. So you see, that's why it makes the title of the story an irony and twist, because that's certain. You think that is about the horse, but it's not. It's about the jockey, Tiger, and his death. Okay, so hopefully you understand more about twist by reading the story. Okay, so that's the end of Mojo 7.